Good day. This 53rd day, meaningful moments, 365 days. Aqua Bubbles. Aqua Bubble is an experience that I had, and perhaps you can remember a time when you may have been by a pool or by a body of water and you experienced that aqua color, that aqua that it like holds you in this really healing kind of frequency. The water itself is calming. It allows you to sort of float and be held in this space where it's carrying all the weight of your body. And if you really slip into that aqua bubble, you can feel like everything lifted from you, body, mind, soul. That's the experience I used to get a lot when I was a child, going to the pool and watching the way the light hit the water and the ripples and how it moved. But it's also been, in other natural bodies of water that I've experienced that. And that's what happened the other night. We had had a long day of packing and doing some of that cleaning and things like that. And we went down to the hot tub, and we've been so blessed and graced by this beautiful room that has a large, 14-foot round or, whatever, hot tub and a beautiful indoor pool. The lighting is exquisite, and the city is a backdrop, and there's plants all inside that room. It's just a gorgeous room that we've enjoyed so often during the time that we've lived here. And in that moment, we were sitting in this aqua bubble, and it sort of reminded me of kind of like a feeling that maybe would be like jello-y, or what in a science, like a sci-fi movie, what would be transporting through interdimensional time and space. But we were sitting there encapsulated in what I perceived as kind of this aqua bubble, because that was the color that was across the pool, and it was night and it was dark, so it was really enhanced, striking. And we were sitting in that hot tub and viewing it for like the last time that we were going to be there. And there was such a moment that was, like I said, encapsulated with all these different memories and thoughts. And then, we kind of felt like we were almost lifted a little bit out of our body experience, and we're traveling through this kind of time warp as we moved around, and there was no one else there. It was like at 9 o'clock at night. But the whole experience had actually started earlier, like a day before, when I had to reserve, because so much has changed with COVID and the different restrictions in the building and things like that. And I had to get online. I had to find a time, and there was a 9 o'clock time that was open with no one else down there. And we went down there and had that experience. And then during the day prior to going down there was like a lot of activity that I had gone down to get a pizza. And as I was waiting for the pizza, which now comes in and has to be set down on the table, and people aren't allowed, the delivery people can't go up to the floors, and there's a sanitation area or sanitizing area, and there's all the food that gets laid out there, and there's packages waiting for people, and the bus was coming, and people were having groceries delivered, in big carts that they were stacking up everything on to have the resident come down and pick up the groceries. And there's all this hubbub going down there, but it was all sort of surreal. The whole experience in this aqua bubble I was telling you about is surreal, because it's all encapsulated inside that moment too, where we were experiencing that room as it was when we first came, and then now with the changes. When we left the hot tub later that evening, which we now can only be there for a certain amount of time, etc., we walk through the area that was that still is the fitness center, but it's all retrofitted now with plexiglass in between the machines, and The aerobic room is different. Everything's been removed out of it. All the equipment that was there, it's very limited with what's there now. There's a whole section that was a basketball court and other areas that's just closed off completely. And we kind of walk through there very slow. Again, still in this aqua bubble, sort of feeling the change that had happened, but it was also very surreal. No one was around. It was just a time that was different because we remembered it, with all the time that we were down there and the different people that we were accustomed to seeing and the activity and all those things. Similar to what I experienced waiting for the pizza, but in a different way where I was watching this in a very different light. And then coming upstairs, and there was a feeling that kind of was a little unsettling for me. And, while we were busy through the day, yesterday, after this whole experience being down there and getting that last little bit of like, oh, it feels good in our muscles because it was a little sore and from all the packing and things we've been doing, then coming upstairs and just really feelings that were going on, but not being able to pinpoint them because, of course, we were busy with the activity we had to do. And as I mentioned yesterday on Meaningful Moments, then there was that grit and cleaning down to the nitty-gritty kind of thing and, all that was going on. And finally, when we got to the place where we're really like down to the wire now, I was sitting there and, felt really emotional. And, then it came out. And what came out from going back into that aqua bubble was, as I had mentioned, all of those different experiences encapsulated inside there. And then there came an outpouring, and it was the piece that was like grief from this past year and the things that weren't fulfilled. One of my grandchildren that I wanted to come, and one of my sons weren't able to get here this past year as we had initially thought would happen. And when we first came here, we wanted to share all those experiences of those amenities, the pool and the hot tub, all this with everyone that, everyone of our family. We wanted to bring them to have that experience, to share in that beauty. And I was actually getting like just notes from different people yesterday who had come here and, were wishing us well, but also thanking us for the experience of having come here and had that opportunity to share in all that beautiful moments. And it was like it came pouring out of me, right? And I found myself like deeply sobbing over this piece that didn't seem like it got fulfilled. And I was so aware and connected with the idea that many people experienced that last year. It just had never really hit me like that. Or the kind of the grief of things that seemed like they were missed. I talked with the doorman yesterday who told me that like his daughter's birthday was completely missed last year, and they were trying to do something this year to kind of resurrect an opportunity for her to experience now that she's 2, because her first year went by just like that with no celebration really. And there were so many people and things that were happening like that for everyone in different ways. And it was just my moment of reckoning with what's happened with COVID, the change, and that surreal piece that I felt in the aqua bubble was really related to the way it was, the way we were, and now. And it was kind of like a clashing of these worlds and these time warp spaces that we were in, at least that I was experiencing. And it was really good to get to that piece and to let that come out, because it was somewhere inside there. I just hadn't had the experience to face that yet, or to be aware of it, to face it. And it came in that way, which is really an important piece to closure and to bringing, as I had mentioned to a sister yesterday, extracting the sweetest piece of it all, That's the piece that we get to take with us, for all of us. The sweetest of all the experiences, even when it seems sort of bittersweet, or we have to let something go that was really treasured. You know what that's like. You have a great visit with a family or friend, and you talk all night long, and you wish the meal could last forever, and all those kinds of things. Similar to that, we don't want to quite let go. But what we're really hanging on to is the good experience, the positive, that feeling of like joy, celebration. We don't want to quite let go what that connection was, and we don't have to. That connection is still there. That extraction of the sweetest piece. That's the part that is that eternal piece. That's the part that is more in spirit. That's the part that is really the aqua bubble. And so, I'm still feeling the effects of that walking through this day. And today, as I'll take a little walk in the park and doing a couple of little things that are ceremonial to really honor and put closure and energetically around the space. And it was really good to do that. It was really good to go through those undulations of the feelings and the emotions and the memories and the surrealism and all those pieces, and to arrive right here, more grounded today and ready for what next comes. So as we move through these times, and I'm sure you're all experiencing your version of the aqua bubbles, blessings to it